Hi everybody, Diana. I'm here at Sew in Common. This is a quick short video because it is, let me see if I can find my little banner here. I thought I made one. Hang on. The Kaleidoscope quilt, but this is an update, okay? So the Kaleidoscope quilt, 2 Sundays ago, I showed you how I translated Lori Holt's pattern, the one square, into a larger quilt. And then this last Sunday, I showed you how I put it together. Well, this is a little update. I told you that I would bring to you on how I did the stabilizer, how I removed the stabilizer. So I have a little bitty film to show you from my camera on how I did that and the process. And then we'll come back to this camera and I will show you the rest of it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that now. Okay, everybody, so I am about to wash away all the stabilizer in the Kaleidoscope quilt that you saw in Sunday's video. This is half of my sink in the kitchen. As you can see, it's really nice and deep. It holds several gallons of water. I was thinking about doing this in the bathtub, and I think that if my quilt were bigger, so the one I've made is 40 by 40, but I think that if it were bigger, say a full throw size or anything for a bed, I would definitely do it in the bathtub. Just make sure your bathtub's, generally cleaned out. Fill it, I would start maybe, I wouldn't go up to the rim. I would go maybe like in the bathtub up to about halfway, maybe a little above halfway. And with this, I'm going to fill it, pretty good. I'm going to fill it to about right here with water. I've got my cap of fabric softener. I haven't put the fabric softener in yet because I want to make sure. My husband got a new drain plug for this sink because our old one, the rubber, had worn away over the years. So I'm filling it up. Yes, it's a lot of water, but it's a quilt, so I will do just about anything for my quilt. So if it means doing a lot of water, it means doing a lot of water. So this is going to run now for a little bit and fill up, and when I'm ready to put it in, I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see I've got my sink full of water, and I'm probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches from the top still. It's a lot of water. But this is a big quilt top. It's 40 by 40. I'm not sure that this is going to be enough water. I may need to do this in the tub, as I was mentioning before. But you know what, guys? I'd rather I do it and make a mistake than you guys do it and ruin your quilt tops in any way. So here goes my fabric softener. And just as a reminder, in case you haven't seen my other videos, I use Ultra Downy, Free and Gentle. I don't care about the brand. I just like the Free and Gentle because it doesn't have it does not have fragrance in it. I tried doing this process when I was doing my experiments over the spring and summer with a fragrance, just regular Downy fabric softener. And it was a nightmare in the scent. I mean, that scent a little bit in your laundry is good, but when it's all through your house, it wasn't. All right, so here's the quilt. We're going to put it in here now. And it's fitting in here pretty good. This might be okay. But it's all got to get down in there. And you got to make sure that it really sinks down in. And you can watch that for a second while I grab a towel here. So I'm going to switch hands and really get that down in there. And like I've told you before, when you start seeing like these little pink globules and stuff, that's the glue coming out. That's my glue stick coming out. And it's no problem at all. It dissolves right away. So that's down in there. All right, so I'm gonna let that sit about 30 minutes and see when I come back what I think. Maybe this size works if I do a double dip, like if I dip it in just water. We'll see. We'll see in about 30 minutes. Okay, everybody, so here it is. It's all washed out now. Let's look at the back. You can see no stabilizer, no glue stick. It all disappeared. I just let it soak in the sink tub for about, I think it was probably more like 40 minutes just because I lost track of time and forgot to set a timer. And then I rinsed it in clear water. I just rinsed it, maybe for a good 10 minutes I rinsed it. I wanted to make sure everything got out of there. And it's not too bad of a mess. I was really worried. I mean, yeah, I need to do a really good press on it, but it's not bad. So I'm pretty happy with it. So what I've done is, this is the small bathroom off my studio, and I've just hung up an old bed sheet that we don't use anymore. We like use it to throw, over the seats in the car and stuff like that when we go to the beach or the lake. But I threw it up over the shower and hung this up over it because I didn't want it to get my shower curtain wet. And then I just put a towel at the bottom of the floor to catch any drips that might come off of it. But to be honest, I don't think it's going to drip. And I don't feel any sticky in here. So I think this is going to iron up really good. I'm probably going to need to let it, hang for several hours. This evening, I will look and see if I'm ready to press, because I like to press when it's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit damp. I think you get a nice crisp press that way, and that way I don't use any other steam, any other product. I just press it on that medium wool to silk setting, and it turns out real good. So I think it turned out good this way. This was done in my sink, and I'll give you more information when we go back to the main camera. All right, everybody. So what did you think of that? That was the easiest way to get stabilizer out of that large piece, right? So I will tell you now, that sink, after I did the whole thing, I actually did a measurement of it. I have like a 1 gallon size pitcher, and I filled it, and it took 10 gallons to fill that sink just about to the very top. So I think I probably had about 6 to 7 gallons of water in that sink to put the quilt in. And I would not recommend you doing any less than that. So if you have a sink that is nice and deep, like that one that I used today, I think it'll be perfect for a 40 by 40. I think I would even go up to a 50 by 50. But if I was doing like a 54 by 72 throw, no, I would do it in the tub. If you don't have a sink that size, then once again, do it in your tub. I will tell you this, because the stabilizer is starch for the most part, when all the water drained out, there was a little bit of a slimy, starchy feel. But all I did was turn my water on super hot, because I already know from my plumber that it doesn't bother the plumbing. It's like throwing potato water down the sink. But this would have been a pretty big batch of potatoes. So I got my water really hot, turned it on full bore once it got as hot as it could get. And then I rinsed my whole sink out. And I have like a little brush that I keep at the sink that I, like if something gets stuck in there, I'll scrub it or something. Or maybe even one of those Mr. Clean magic erasers. I love those things. And then I cleaned it out. I cleaned out the sink with the scrub brush, just to make sure that there was nothing stuck in there or anything goopy left in there, right? And it was fine. I mean, and there wasn't like a 1/4 of an inch of it even, it was just a little bit of a film, but it felt kind of, you wouldn't want to walk on it if it were in the bottom of your tub, right? So So I washed it out. So if you use your tub, once you've done that, then just give your tub a good rinse out with some hot water. Okay. And it won't be a problem. So again, this was the book that I used, Lori Holt's from Be in My Bonnet Kaleidoscope book. I used the Build-A-Block, our Build-A-Block Basic Set 1 to make it. I translated the one block into that quilt that I made that you were seeing. And I will link at the end of this little video, I'll link the other two videos that kind of are part of this series. And then Sunday, this coming Sunday, is on our Sunday video, we'll be doing the quilting part of it. But I wanted you to be able to see what I did with the stabilizer now, because I think a few of you have purchased this book. I know at least two of you have, because you wrote and let me know, and I think that's totally cool. Isn't it a great book? I love this book. There's more stuff I want to translate and do with this book too. And then Sunday, you'll see the quilting, but I thought those of you that might be doing this as we go or might have decided to start your own would want that information. And I know that one of our subscribers wants to know this process for a larger quilt for a different quilt that she's done. So now you've got that information. So a really big tub, at least 6 to 10 gallons of water is what I think you need for something from the 40 by 40 up to, I would say 10 gallons would be good for 54 by 72 throw, or your bathtub pretty full for your larger quilts. Now, I will tell you that I won't ever do a whole large quilt that way. I would do a throw 54 by 72. That would be the largest size I would do that way. Because when I do my large quilts, my queen size, my king size bed quilts, I do them a block at a time. I take all the stuff out a block at a time, or I do my segment pieces, however, whatever kind of a mood I'm in. If I just get a ton of segments done and then I want to go ahead and go rush those through, I will, just like I showed you in the stabilizer video, which you can still see here on the channel. It's just like a month or so ago, so it should be pretty easy to find. But I will, now that I've done them by the block as well, I probably might start doing them that way, because actually that was actually a little bit easier than doing segments. Like I said, depends on what kind of a wild hair I've got going on that day. But that is what I did with the Kaleidoscope. It is still, you should know, it is still hanging in the bathroom drying. And probably later tonight, I will do the pressing. And I will show you that in a little segment on Sunday's video so that you can see how it presses out. But by the time we go through the quilting, some of the quilting, and you see all that on Sunday, what it looks like after I press it probably won't mean much to you. But I do want to show you, because I want you to see like how the seams on the back press out and all of that. Okay, so this was an update to the Kaleidoscope quilt that I translated from the Lori Holt book. Okay. And in Sunday's video, this past Sunday, I gave you a link to where I know you can find this book and the fabric. It's not like a link. I don't get residual or anything from that. It's just that's where I got mine. So I'm showing you that. That link will be, that video will be linked here at the end so that you can see it. My head's a little crazy today. I told you I injured my shoulder and all, and so I'm off the medication they gave me. I don't like that. I have a really hard time with medication like that, and so I'm off of it. But I feel like I'm still like getting back to my normal self after I take it. So and it's blazing hot. It's supposed to be like 111 tomorrow. Oh, I can't stand it. And before I came out to do this little clip, I was out in the garden for a little while, so I'm just kind of, my brain isn't settled at the moment. So you know how that is. Everybody gets that way. So that's it for this video, folks. If you have comments, if you have questions about this technique, of course, link them below. You can always send me your comments or questions at support@sewuncommon.com. That, of course, is also where you can get our Build-A-Quilt system at sewuncommon.com. There's our website. So you can get the pattern there too, the Build-A-Block. Gosh, I am so out of it. I apologize. So anyway, don't forget, I'm not seeing any snowball runners over on the Facebook page. Remember, you only have until the 31st to put your entries up on the Facebook page, which is just called Sew Uncommon, so that you have a chance to win our Build-A-Block system, our basic system. All right, everybody. Until next time, see you all on Sunday. Until then, sew life beautiful.